All right, Jeff Goodman here back with my daughter, Talia Goodman, and we are breaking the commitment of one Rice star, Quincy Olivari, who I love the smile, man, because you had it the whole time in Houston where I got to know you and Talia got to know you because you guys were working together. I don't know who was working. I think Talia was working a little harder than you were there, Quincy.
Definitely was.
I plead the fifth. I got my hours done.
There were a few times you were trying to sneak on that court. We both know it.
Got to get a few shots up on that court if you could.
It. Just visualize it.
Yeah, you should. You should. Listen, for people that haven't seen you, and obviously I know your game, but for people who haven't seen you yet, describe your game, Quincy, to people.
I'm going to use what a lot of other people say, and I'm going to just say microwave score, but I like to pride myself better than that. You know, I'm an energy guy. I bring a lot of energy on the offensive end, defensive end, and in timeouts. And I'm a fun guy. I'm a smiling guy. So right or wrong, I'm gonna still be smiling. Whether I cause a turnover, I hit a three, I'm gonna always be smiling. But offensive end, microwave score, and then I'm an energetic guy on the court.
Yeah, 6'3" guard, third in Conference USA in scoring. You average almost 19 a game, 6 boards a game. I'm not going to get on you too much, but you shot 41 from 3 as a sophomore, down to 36 last season. We're not going to ask you to explain that now, but we know you can score the ball, and we know you can score from all 3 levels. That's the biggest thing. All right, Tal, you're up.
So the portal's been getting crazier and crazier every year. I feel like it's really at its peak right now. Over 1,400 entries right now. What's this experience been like for you? How has it been like kind of dealing with the portal?
It's been very stressful, very good days, and then very tiring days. They were early on. It was a great feeling to see everyone who was interested in me, what they had to say about me as a player and as a person. But as the dog days started coming on, where it was just kind of like, okay, now I really got to make a decision. You got to field out some calls and make some mature decisions. It kind of got a little stressful on me, and it got to a point where I had to like even ask my mom and some other people to kind of like leave me alone. I feel like everything was too much at one time, but overall it was a great experience. You know, I never got recruited like this out of high school, so it was great to experience it. But I will definitely leave it with a positive adjective to describe it than a negative.
Yeah. So what was the biggest difference between, getting recruited out of high school and deciding to go to Rice and all that, and then coming into this and maybe getting a lot more attention than you had before?
The biggest difference was my phone. I had to actually turn my phone off and sometimes beg people to stop talking to me. Coming out of high school, I was begging people to talk to me and putting out film of my games with my dad and trying to do the best I could to get my name out. Now it was like, okay, Mom, like I'm sending them your number, or Coach Perra, I'm sending them your number because I've been on the phone with these coaches, and I just kind of need to do some schoolwork. The first weekend I went in the portal, I didn't do any schoolwork. I was on the phone from sunup to sundown.
I know these last few days you've been going on Instagram Live a little bit, and the fans have been talking to you. I've been on the lives. I've seen it. The Auburn fans especially, but I've seen some of the other fan bases hop on there too. What's that been like? Just hearing from the fans and hearing how much, they want you going to their school.
It's fun. I'm big on fan interaction because I like to make it known that I'm not someone who I think I'm better than other people. So I like to show people that I'm human. I like to interact with you outside of basketball, play the game, ask them questions, ask them about their life, and kind of get to know them on a personal level rather than just, oh, this is Quincy Olivari, a basketball player. He's this, he's that. Like, no, I'm a regular person just like you, and I like to have fun and establish a connection. So I think that's the biggest thing, and that's what makes it so fun.
Hey, Talia said you wouldn't stop asking questions to everybody that was working the Final Four, helping out. So I think that's cool, though. You enjoyed that, which said to me a lot about who you are. And I talked to Scott Perra about you, and he couldn't stop raving about you as a person. I have one more question about the process and the NIL component to it. I've heard from a lot of different coaches. They say to me, like, I get on with all these kids, and the first question they ask is NIL. How do you try to balance NIL and picking the right school for you and not worrying too much about the money aspect of it?
Oh, well, I think that's a great question, and I made it apparent early to Bruce Pearl, Anthony Rudda, I mean, I could go on about all the coaches that this isn't a money grab for me because I know if I make the right decision, whatever money I sacrifice now, I'll make 10 times at the place I'm really trying to go because this is a business decision where I'm trying to make this decision so I can ultimately be in the NBA or play and make the most money I can. And so a lot of coaches, even Bruce Pearl told me face to face, he said, that's refreshing to hear, Quincy, because a lot of these kids just want to make the most money. They want to go to the place that has the most money to offer them, but then they get stuck and they're not happy. And I know that I'm not here to break the news with the first $8 million deal or something, but I'm at a school where I'm not playing or I'm not happy. If I'm happy and the fit is right, I'll make the money that I need to when it's right.
All right, Tal. You can ask the biggest question of the day.
It's time, Quincy. Are you ready? You ready for it?
Ready.
All right. Where are you going?
Next year, I'll be going to play with Sean Miller and the Xavier Musketeers. I will be in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'll be having a lot of fun with my new teammates, especially Desmond Claude, Davion McKnight, Jerome Hunters. Those are some of the people that I've got to know well already, and I'm going to be in Cincinnati in the Big East.
Congrats, man. Congrats. Why Xavier? What was the biggest reason? I know you just got back from a visit there this past weekend. What was it? What is it you love about Xavier?
The program. I mean, I could rave about how they pitched to me and how they persuaded me just on a player level, but Sean Miller and his staff, they're a great group of guys. The players that they have are a great group of guys. I mean, me and Jerome hit it off rip at dinner Friday, and then me and Desmond all Saturday. It was almost as if I'd known them for 3 years, and it's just a great environment. The basketball and how much they care about basketball at Xavier is so it's amazing to see. The stages that they play on, Madison Square Garden, going to UConn, and I mean,
you're going to be in the best league. Hey, you're going to be in the best league in America next year. I know a lot of people, Big 12, and it's been great, but Big East next year is going to be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I just don't know if you're going to be able to handle the cold weather.
That's what I've been telling everybody. I'm from Atlanta and I've lived in Houston these past 4 years. When I see snow, school is canceled, everything is canceled. It's going to be different having to actually go do something in the snow. But, I know them Nike Colts will keep me nice and warm.
You mentioned the stages that they play on at Xavier. When we were at the Final Four, we were talking a little bit, and you said you wanted to be there next year. You didn't want to be working it. You wanted to be on that court. How important was that in kind of making a decision, and how much do you feel like that played into where you ended up?
It was very important. Sean Miller's a great coach, and he has an amazing track record. And the one thing they pitched to me is they've always been close. Elite Eight, Sweet 16s. They just need one key piece to get over that hump so they can say Final Four, won the Elite Eight, and make it to that point. And to know that they've had consistent success in the tournament. Because to me, obviously, since I haven't been there, consistent success is just getting out the first weekend. And they've gotten out of there. Sean Miller, at least, has gotten out of that weekend multiple times, and he is just as hungry as I am to go to the Final Four and to play for a coach that not only can develop me as a player, but lead a team that deep in the tournament is something that I'm excited to do.
Sean has mellowed a little bit because he was on field of 68 when he was out for a year. So I take credit for the fact that you're getting a little bit of a mellow Sean Miller. All right. A few years ago, he was a little more high strung. So I think he's chilled a little bit. You do know Davion McKnight well because you guys played against each other in Conference USA. Talk to me a little bit about how you see yourself fitting in at Xavier, playing alongside Davion.
Playing at Xavier, off-rip style of play. They play very, very fast. And just a minor note, they had success with another Conference USA transfer last year, Sule Boom. So that was one thing they pitched to me is, Sule very well. Look at what he did, and just be honest, Q, like when you played him, did you see him being able to do the things that he did here? And look at this and look at that, and it's just like, they play fast. When they get off the glass, everyone's going there, advancing it. It's not a lot of dribbles in transition unless it's like, they're slowing it down but the style of play it's like I was looking at it, was just like, yeah. And then they would put my clips along with that, and it was like, man, that's literally identical, just different court. Playing with Davion will be very fun though. I've known Davion for 3 years. He came in my sophomore year, and he's an amazing point guard. I tell a lot of people he can really pass the ball. I remember when he first came in the league, my coach, Coach Green, he did a scout for Western, and he said his assist to turnover ratio is very, very good, and he can pass the ball well, but don't underestimate him because he can also get to the paint. He can score. And Davion Wood had a heck of a freshman year. And then when they won with Charles Bassey, so he's a winner also, and he'll bring that winning aspect to the team. But playing with Davion, it'll be very fun because I played against him and I know what he's capable of.
No doubt. All right. Well, listen, congrats, man. Congrats. It was great getting a chance to meet you and hang out a little bit in Houston. And the good Tal's only like a couple hours away, so she can drive and see you from Bloomington, Indiana next year. I'll be out there as well. I'll make sure I'm out there and watch you play in person. But again, congrats. Xavier's getting a hell of a player and an even better kid. So really happy for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate this opportunity. I know honestly, me and Ty are good friends, and I didn't even think about doing this, but it's just, I really appreciate it. And I'm very thankful for this opportunity.
No, this was the perfect way to do it. The perfect way to do it. And again, congrats, and we'll talk soon.